From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keith Allen.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. America. I am Keith Allen, and proudly welcoming you into this Friday's edition of For the People on November the 10th, 2017. I am very excited about this weekend. I don't know what it is. There's nothing really particular going on, but it's been a long week. Have you had one of those? Yeah, the coffee cup is full of coffee right this second as we speak. Kind of a cloudy day, fall day here in the Tampa Bay area. I understand we have a cold front that's going to be coming in the following week. So not next week, but the week after that. But temperature's been pretty decent in the morning. 60s. You can't beat that. Some of my friends up in Neenah, Wisconsin, up in the Wisconsin area, in the Midwest, temperature is definitely dipping down a little bit lower. But been enjoying temperatures below 90 degrees, and it's always a nice thing. Of course, the studio is always cool at 73 degrees, and because all the equipment, we've got to keep it cool over here. Speaking of the holidays coming up and all that good stuff, Thanksgiving, and we got Christmas just right around the corner. A lot of us travel, and we go through the security processes with TSA, with screening, and there's a new report that CBS put out, and undercover officers going through the TSA checkpoints with mock knives and guns and explosives. More than, I'm not even kidding, 70% of the time, Homeland Security investigators didn't find anything. I mean, we're able to go into the airport, do this. And a test 2 years ago had found that 95% failure rate. So it's not a whole lot better. This was an undercover operation to test TSA screenings, which they traditionally do anyways, to make sure that these TSA agents, the machines, everything's up to par. Everything's working. Everybody's, they're not just drinking coffee there like I do. But actually doing something, okay, opposed to me not. I know. I'm minimizing the effect here of the broadcast, not intentional here, but just having a little bit of fun. But seriously, there's a failure to discover weapons at our airports, ones that are prohibited. And at 70 to 80% of the time, they got away with it. 8 classified recommendations were made based on the testing operation, and TSA made a statement saying it took the findings very seriously and are implementing measures that will improve screening effectiveness at checkpoints. Ooh, you guys did what? How dare you do what you did? But seriously, if the CBS undercovers were able to go and do this, God knows what people are getting away with or could get away with it very easily. And this is not good findings. And this stuff is published for all to see and televised for who? ISIS operatives to be able to see this thing too. Hey, guess what, guys? We can get away with it. We can bring weapons. We can bring a little C4 onto the plane, shall we? This is very concerning. When I saw this, I had to do a double take. Then I had to do a little bit more research, double check to make sure. Newsmax republished the CBS findings today at newsmax.com. You can see there's a titlement there that specifically says TSA screenings fail up to 80% of the time. Investigation finds. And so the TSA, we're very concerned about these findings, and We're implementing measures that's going to improve the screening effectiveness at checkpoints. I mean, at that rate, what's the point? Seriously, I mean, the aggravation, the lines, the extra time to get to the airport, stressing to get to the airport, and now we're finding that 70, 80% of the time it's not even effective anyways. It's not even working out. Dear God, for those that spend the extra money to bypass, going through the puff machines, taking off your shoes and all that other stuff, I mean, what's the point? There's a Democrat speaking out about this. Democrat Representative William Keating said during the committee meeting that $1.28, wish that was, $1.2 billion in TSA ticket surcharges is going to pay the national debt rather than to fighting better security procedures. This is what the Representative Keating had to say about the whole deal. That's paid out $1.2 billion in TSA ticket surcharges is going to pay the national debt than to fix things security-wise. Well, that is pretty alarming. I didn't realize, by the way, nor did probably most of you, that $1.2 billion was going in for surcharges. No wonder the airline tickets are not as cheap as they used to be. So there is that built-in surcharge. I mean, we knew that airport charges, well, I guess that's just meshed in. Is it on the ticket? Does it show the TSA? I'll have to really study it to see, but it's in there. Keating added, we have the technology and resources to do it, but we're not doing it because we're paying for a wall. Oh, geez. Okay. We're paying for the wall, and it's Trump's fault because the TSA is not able to do a better job because already the money's going towards the wall and being, we're not able to pay these TSA workers any more money. So all the machines that were actually put in, they do work. What's going on? Are the scanners not working? Are the cameras not working? Or is it human error where the people are just getting lazy because they're becoming complacent? What is it? I don't think it's a money issue, Mr. Keating. The TSA needs to explain itself. They got money. They're making payroll. They're doing their jobs at airports. They're holding us up. Don't blame Donald Trump because of the wall. I knew it's coming. I thought it was too interesting. Upset that the government's getting some of that money out from the NSA. Who do you think is paying for the equipment? Do you think it was free to install the equipment at the airports? Do the agents, do they come free? The insurance, the health care, does that come free? Give me a break. I mean, seriously, what are these libs smoking? We have the technology and resources to do it, but we're not doing it because we're paying for a wall. That explains it all. Keating also noted Homeland Security Viper teams that use canines are being cut from 31 to 8. And who reports this? ABC News. The Viper teams, the canines. So there you go. So we're not able to do proper screenings because we're building a wall. So that's pointed out there by Keating. And then the dogs, we're getting rid of the dogs. We're down to 8 from 31. So we're pretty screwed here through TSA, according to the liberal views. So shoot, we should do away with all security protocols. And this is their reports. There's no sources other than the dogs that was reported by ABC News, which I'm going to look into. But the $1.2 billion TSA ticket surcharges you pay for the national debt, well, that's great. Thanks, Keating. If we could pay the national debt just off that would be terrific. At the same time, paying for the workers that are already working. Why can't we just say what it is? These people have been doing their jobs and have been doing it. They haven't been doing a good job, and maybe some of them need to be fired. I can think of a lot of, when the government's involved with a lot of stuff, there's not enough oversight. And so this does alarm this American that these folks are asleep at the wheel. If they're not doing their jobs, the machines are not doing their jobs, you get better machines. But they had 2 years to deal with this. And excuse me, Keating, 2 years? Donald Trump's only been in the position for a year. He was just elected a year ago. We just celebrated the year that he was elected. So the TSA, all of this stuff was under Obama. And these deplorable numbers were under Obama. When they said 2 years ago, it found that there was a 95% failure rate. So things, give me a break. It was worse. It was worse then. It has improved. What kind of crack cocaine are you on? Put these things into perspective. It's because of shows like this that you're able to actually get clarity. It's hard to find these days for common sense. That's why I'm saying you have to read between the lines to find the truth. It's right there in front of you. You're really looking for it. A lot of people, they don't spend the time to do it. It's right there in front of you where the truth is. It's just this, let's just throw it down to somebody else and let's blame anybody else. But there's not a solution. TSA takes it into account. And then we get the representatives, Keating's, just spelling it out that we're building a wall, and that's why there's a breakdown here at the TSA, and that we can just blame anything that ever happens. And if there is a problem or an incident, they're going to blame it on Donald Trump for building the wall, for trying to keep the bad guys out so they're not coming in. The TSA, if these numbers are this way, then they need to be held accountable. It's nothing to do with money. Like I say, the employees are there, the equipment's there, they've been trained to do what they're supposed to do. They're not doing their jobs. There is a fundamental breakdown. All right, this into the trash can. We're done with that story. Now, this is a very cool story. For those that don't necessarily like Donald Trump, I think you're going to fall in love with his granddaughter. She is absolutely adorable, and she's an internet sensation. President Trump's 6-year-old granddaughter, Arabella Kushner, is a sensation in China, and she sang her little heart out and reciting a poem in Mandarin for the Chinese president during Trump's visit there. Trump showed Chinese President Xi Jinping a video of his granddaughter in a Chinese-style dress singing a song, yes, in Mandarin Chinese, and reciting a poem which she dedicated to the foreign leader and his wife. And I do have the audio, privy to it, and I would like you to... I am 6 years old, folks. 6 years old. Mandarin. Chinese. Remarkable. Say what you will about Donald Trump, but having this type of amazing aptitude, discipline, focus at 6 years old, I think is incredible. And the Chinese, they're all over this. Check this out. This is incredible. 6 years old, folks.
彭奶奶你好，大家好，让我唱一个首歌吧。我们的田野，美丽的田野，碧绿的河水，流过无边的稻田，无边的稻田，好像起伏的海面，平静的湖中开满了荷花，金色的鲤鱼长得多么肥大，无边的稻田，唱着无数的夜呀。日出新登山，心相近，喜相远，狗不叫，新乃天，叫只豆，为一张新梦。
Listen, your kid